We come to you from Aragonda, a village 20 kilometers from Chittoor in Andhra Pradesh, and we're outside a first of its kind Hygiene Play Park. In fact, this village has a population of around 5,000 people, and experts say amid the pandemic, there was not just loss of learning, but also hygiene habits, many say, became a casualty. And this property, a 3,000 square feet park, tries to bring about a blend of traditional games with hygiene lessons so that children who come here to play, to unwind, will also take back home a lesson or two on hygiene habits. And over time, authorities or the people behind this field, this could become part of their regular life. And there are at least seven games and events around this park, along the wall, actually. And with me, Richa Shukla, an educationist, was designed this park. Richa, thank you very much for your time. Share with us the thoughts that went behind this.
Thanks, Sam. The thought behind it was simple that the past few years have been very trying for everybody, especially so for children. They have been leading restricted lives, and their lives have altered in many ways. Play has gone completely missing from their lives. Uh, and that is an integral part of childhood, the way of life. Also, one thing that COVID taught us is that hygiene interventions and educations are imperative.
Right.
They are an imperative, and we have to start very early on with children for them to be ready to fight future viruses. Some variant or the other will keep hitting us, so it's important that children learn hygiene behaviors. The hygiene education is imparted really early on. So the idea was to create a very safe space,
Right.
integrating hygiene into their everyday play, a space which is really built on foundations and principles of play, and integrates hygiene in a way that it supports, promotes, and
Right.
reinforces critical hygiene messages.
And here you see this platform with two or three games. One is hopscotch. What does it do exactly?
So these are very traditional games, and we chose them as we were developing. We were asking children to come and try with us as to which is the way that even if there are no facilitators, children can play. So these are very contextual games
Right.
adapted to have hygiene messages within them. So, for example, this hopscotch here really talks about the hygienic toilet habits, the
Uh-huh.
good hygiene, the toilet practice that you would follow.
Right.
So, as you start, your the entire toilet routine is visually depicted here when the
Okay.
child is playing. So there's a lot of visual memory that is being taken back by children. There's, children who can read, who are a little older, will also remember the key messages. And then we have,
So this
how
starts with.
so this starts with the toilet use routine. You have
Okay.
to wear your slippers, carry water, use a specific toilet, pour water after use, close the door on your way out, wash your hands with soap and water, scrub nicely, and rinse dry. So this is what you need to follow. So the idea is that children are taking back these
Right.
messages, these visual messages when they go home.
And this is a kind of a twister game.
This is a kind of this is where children who really enjoy body movements are more kinesthetic in in their attitude, so they will love. So these children are dodging the germs by stepping on things that are required for them to stay hygienic. So they dodge the germ, and that's more like a twister rendition of the
This one
game.
is it? This one.
Yes, where children are really using their body to touch the objects that really are required to.
Right. So besides, this is actually real physical exercise.
These are real physical exercise. So it's a way of children to stay really physically active, use more gross motor skills. But
Right.
we have other games also here which
Right.
are a little slower in pace,
Right.
children who want to sit down and play,
Right.
children who have more creative expression. So that's the game over there where children can sit down and play. It's another rendition of a
Let's see that.
contextual
This
game.
looks like a traditional snake
Traditional,
and ladder
yeah,
game.
this is a German ladder. Each good hygiene practice
Okay.
will lead you to go up the ladder, and each
Okay.
time a germ hits, you come down the ladder.
So this is
So
a modern.
this is more a hygiene adaptation of
Right. Right.
our traditional snakes and ladders game.
Right. Right.
But like I said, we have games for a wider age group. Some children who like to sit down and play more,
Right.
others for children who want to engage in physical play more.
Right.
big body
Let's
movement.
let's try to speak to these children. Do you like this game?
Yes,
What is that you like about?
uh, because I like in that game the dog
Okay.
is there.
Does it teach you about hygiene habits?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. In fact, this corner is for people who do not want to play much, but they want to involve themselves in creative work with the theme. What is your germ buster idea?
Children can be germ detectives doing pretend play, but at the same time we encourage them to come up with their own germ busting idea or be germ detectives and submit those ideas to the Dettol school hygiene education team, who will be here, who are going to collect these ideas from them. And as a way of reinforcement, we give them like membership card
Right.
for the hygiene park. So it's a great motivator for kids to have their own personal exclusive membership cards, and they can scan the card on the gate and come and
Right.
make an entry anytime.
Right.
So it's not a way of restricted entry, but more so encouraging children and motivating them to have their own card as they learn more and
Right.
more
Right.
good hygiene practices.
Let's also speak to this group of children. Hello, tell me about this park. What do you like about this hygiene park?
Uh, STEM station
Okay.
bring the game.
You like it because?
We learn when any more running things
Mm.
and brain thing.
Okay. Do these games also teach you about hygiene habits?
Yes,
Like what?
hand wash,
Okay.
um, brain running,
Hmm.
like words we want to
Okay.
find.
This hygiene lessons, are they important?
Yes,
Why?
the hygiene lessons. We want to wash hands like the lessons.
Otherwise, what happens?
Um, the germs will attack to
Okay.
the body.
Okay. Okay. Let's also walk through the other side. You have a trampoline where again children have lots of physical activity. So you've struck a balance between hygiene related games and physical
Well, the
games.
idea is that younger children, children who come with their older siblings, should also
Right.
have. So it's a fine dose of fun with some bit of learning integrated into it. So there are some things which are just purely for fun and joy for children,
Right.
because
Right.
that's attraction. And then there are other games. Mostly the whole environment is stimulating enough for them to really take back hygiene messages. So that was in application. Over here is the
So this is
practice
a kind of a
part.
practice part. Okay.
So it's a hand washing station where
Mhm.
children will mandatory wash hands
Okay.
before they go, because they
You
have
come
a
to wash your
place.
hand? Wash, wash. Yeah. Okay.
And the hand washing steps, the correct way and appropriate way of washing hands, is all depicted here for their ready reference on how to wash hands.
So it's a kind of a six stage hand wash, is it?
Yes. Yeah. So they will actually look at it. For children who want to practice washing hands in right way, will actually look at it. And we've seen them actually practice doing each step very well.
Right, right, right. What kind of a behavioral change you expect over time? Maybe a month or two later.
Well, behavior change is a very, very aspirational term. It happens over a big period of time. However, what we see and we hope to, that's what the research has shown us, that each time the child is playing or has played 4 5 times,
Mhm.
the child is gaining knowledge. And when we impart knowledge, we make children aware, we give them the agency to demand for it. So, in case if they know exactly that this is the way we need to wash hands and soap and water is mandatory, they will go and ask for it. They
Okay.
will demand for it. And they are likely to practice it at home also, because they know that that's how they burst the germ who make them sick.
Tell us about these two activities. One is the ring the germs, and another one is to also enable
Yeah.
visually challenged visitors or young
Well, we
children.
just, our attempt is to make this park more inclusive. So we have this park on extremely flat surface
Mhm.
with ramp entry. This maze over here it offers more tactile experience for children who can actually
This one
feel.
is it?
Yes.
Okay.
So there are children who use their senses and touch for learning. So this is how they can touch and see the way for the soap soldier to go and bust the germ down, so their
So
finger can
even
feel the
visually
real.
challenged children, if they
They
come here,
can,
they
they
can
can,
engage
they
themselves.
can engage themselves.
And the other one on the left, the ring the germs.
The ring the germs is a little more complex game
Uh-huh.
where children actually apply critical thinking skills, problem solving, because this is a little tougher than the other games. So they have to adjust speed and distance to see how they can trap the germ.
All right. You teach children in a largely rural area.
Rural,
How do you
government
think?
school,
Yes, you're from a government school.
government
How do you
school.
think this kind of a park will impact children?
సార్ ఇది మా గవర్నమెంట్ స్కూల్ పిల్లలకు చాలా యూస్ఫుల్ గా ఉంది సార్.
Okay.
పార్కు పిల్లలకు మెయిన్ వచ్చి ఇక్కడ వచ్చి హెల్త్ హెల్త్ హైజీన్ హ్యాపీనెస్ అన్ని ఇక్కడ పార్క్ లో పిల్లలకు వస్తాను
Very
సార్.
nice. She says that many of these children are from
హెల్త్
government schools.
హ్యాపీనెస్
This will also
సిహెచ్ఎస్
help them to improve their health and also their
హైజీన్
happiness,
హైజీన్
hygiene
హెల్త్
and happiness
హ్యాపీనెస్
quotient.
పిల్లలకు
And we
వస్తుంది.
have another young boy. Your name?
Jagat Kaushik, sir.
Jagat Kaushik. Do you like the park?
Yes, sir, very much, sir. It is beautiful park.
What is that you like very much?
That one, sir.
Because?
It is very festival for health and it is very useful for me, sir. I will play very much
All
there.
right. I saw you playing the hopscotch. Uh, did you understand that the hygiene lessons they have written there that last game?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
That
Turn
one,
this side. Yeah. Yeah.
that one, we should do every time. We should wake up early and we should uh,
Use slippers, hand
use
wash.
your slippers and hand wash. We should brush our teeth and take bath and clean our and wear clothes and we should go, sir. Uh, we should go outside after coming inside. We should wash our hands and
Okay.
say,
Is there anything you learned for the first time here? Anything about hygiene you learned for the first time?
yes, sir. I
Which
learned
one?
so much. Now, I regularly follow that one. The timetable only they will also give, sir.
Okay.
Every day I will follow which one I will follow. That only they will give that, sir.
And what's the benefit of following these hygiene habits?
Uh, we'll be clean and out of germs, sir.
Very good. Healthy.
Yes, sir. Healthy, sir.
Thank you so much, Kaushik, for your time. And a roundup of this first of its kind hygiene health park at Aragonda in Chittoor district of Andhra Pradesh. And the hope is that this will become a kind of a model to emulate across the country so that particularly children in rural areas will benefit, will make this hygiene lessons a part of their life to turn more healthy, to contribute towards a healthy India. At Aragonda at the Hygiene Park with Suresh, Sam Daniel, Find the TV.